Thank you for joining, Davinci. Please introduce yourself to the audience in some sentences.
All right, well, my name is Davinci Jeremie, also known as Davinci J15. I'm the guy who told you to buy Bitcoin when it was only $1. Actually, my video that got really famous was just buy $1 worth of Bitcoin. That was back in 2013 because I was getting angry at my viewers because they wouldn't even put $1 into Bitcoin. I became popular because of that video, and yes, I was basically the first person talking about Bitcoin, and I also run a company called Davinci Codes, and I'm a software developer as well.
Really interesting. You said it in a little sentences. What is your technical background and how has it led you to the world of cryptocurrencies?
Well, I'm a software developer since I was a kid, right? I was programming when I had a VIC-20, which had 5K of RAM. That's like an email could wipe that thing out right now. But yes, and then I moved to Commodore 64 and then obviously into the Intel-based systems. And I started learning about money back in 2007 when a congressman named Ron Paul said, hey, our financial system is unfair, it transfers wealth from the poor and the middle class to the rich. And I thought he was lying. I thought it was a scam, but I found out that that was the truth. That's how our financial system is. It's a big fraud committed against every single person on our planet. And I decided to start a YouTube channel on how to avoid that particular fraud, which was using the primary way to do that is to use gold and silver. Now, as I was doing these YouTube videos, I was looking for ways to, solve this issue of our current financial system from the bottom up. And Satoshi beat me to it with Bitcoin. And when I saw it, I immediately knew that it was going to work because, well, as a software developer, I know that it was considered a scientifically impossible solution to have a digital asset where you could ensure that if I transferred it to you, I didn't transfer it to somebody else, so avoid counterfeiting, basically.
Double spending.
Yeah, exactly. And so once I saw that that solution was solved, I knew right away that this is going to make people millions.
So, do you remember the first time you heard from Bitcoin and who introduced you to Bitcoin?
Well, I don't remember the person per se because, I mean, I wish I did. I'd like to thank him. But what happened was YouTube used to have a messaging system. And he messaged me through the YouTube's messaging system. Now, because I don't have a copy of those messages and because YouTube removed it, it's no longer there. I can't go through and find out who it was that sent me that message that changed everything, basically.
When was it? In 2009?
It was actually 2011 that someone sent me the message in February of 2011 that they sent me that message. And then I spent the time researching it, and then I started buying like crazy.
Really interesting. So when have you bought your first Bitcoin? What date was it? And what was the price of your first Bitcoin, if you remember it?
Now, I do remember 67 cents price for my first Bitcoin. I'm trying to look for that exact transaction because I had many transactions beforehand, but there's another transaction I totally forgot because there used to be faucets back then, and faucets allowed you to get free Bitcoin. So really, my lowest price was zero.
Crazy times. Crazy times back in the day. So yeah, it was zero. So you bought really early in 2011. Have you also mined Bitcoin or have you only bought it?
Actually, interesting. When I was trying to buy it, was very, very difficult. The only place to buy it in bulk was Mt. Gox, and I just didn't trust them to transfer.
better.
Yeah, and that trust waned over. Like I started using it, and then I realized, no, they have so many problems. They're losing so much money. But anyways, that's another story. I did mine because I wanted to get more Bitcoin, and I did have a mining pool. I ran a massive mining pool to mine both Bitcoin and Namecoin, which is another coin that came out at the time, which was, I thought it was going to be a good coin because it was a solution for DNS problems because of you heard back then Julian Assange was under attack. His website was under attack. He couldn't. The DNS was shut down, so you could only get to his website through IP address. So I figured this particular token would help resolve that, but it never took off. So, but anyways, I did mine, and I had a massive mining pool rig, and a massive pool, and then I just slowly moved away because they switched to ASICs.
Okay.
And I just had a full-time job that couldn't program in ASICs into to my pool.
Okay, interesting. Have you already sold 1 Bitcoin, 2 Bitcoin, 3 Bitcoin?
Yes, I have sold Bitcoin in the past. And once Bitcoin went over 1,300, that's when I started reversing that.
What was the reason for the sell?
I was a multimillionaire.
Okay, so you want to get some fiat back from your investings back in the days.
Yes, so
okay.
that's the reason why, right?
Fair enough. One other question. Maybe you know it, maybe not. Who is Satoshi Nakamoto? Is he a single person? Is he a group of tech geeks? Who is it?
Well, he's definitely a single person. There's 2 reasons why I say that. Is because when you do software development in a group, you have somebody doing checking of your work, right? To verify, okay, well, did I make this correct, right? Did I organize the code correctly so that I didn't make any kind of stupid mistakes? Like, one of the mistakes is he did the +1 bug, right, where he forgot that 0 is also a number. And so that is a permanent record inside of the Bitcoin stack when you're trying to pull off instructions off of the stack for execution. So that bug would not have shown up if you had a team of developers looking at this and saying, okay, well, dude, you made that common mistake.
How is your portfolio look? Are you only investing in cryptocurrencies? Are you only investing in Bitcoin? Are you still having some different assets like stocks or REITs, something like this?
No, I don't believe in stocks or bonds, right? Those are the old financial system was designed to lock you away and keep you poor. You can use it to gain wealth. However, most people don't gain wealth in those systems.
Now, maybe a bit more private question as well. How many Bitcoin whales do you have in your circle of acquaintances?
Well, quite a few. I would say maybe 10, 12 different whales, yes.
But because you know them later back in the days, or because you saved them early enough, invest some money in Bitcoins and be happy in the future?
Well, although I did produce a couple whales, I don't hang out with those people, but the ones that I do hang out are newly formed whales.
Please show us the sentence on your shirt.
Oh, yes.
Because the next sentence, the next question is about your sentence. You coined the phrase, "I told you so." Please tell us the story behind it.
Okay, I did not coin that phrase, okay?
Okay, I would say so.
Right, and in fact, I have a video in the early days saying to people, listen, I don't understand why you guys are so pushing back on Bitcoin. I'm here to help you. I don't want to say I told you so in the future, because it's not going to help you.
What are some potential risks associated with investing in cryptocurrencies, and how can individuals mitigate those risks?
Oh, there's a huge
a lot of
risk. Massive.
Name the two biggest risks you see with with cryptocurrencies.
You and you. Those are the 2 biggest risks. Yourself.
So you say the persons are the risks themselves.
Yes.
Why?
It's the biggest risks. Because, 1, many people want to get rich quick in this environment because they've seen so many people do so. And they're just too haunted to get in. So when somebody comes to them and says, I'm going to make you a lot of money, double your Bitcoin tomorrow or next week, they jump on that, and you're like...
Have you heard from the Bill Gates fraud?
I'm sure there's many like that.
Oh, Bill Gates wrote me a mail.
Exactly. And so this is one of the biggest risks, is people jump into this environment and they get robbed every single time. A lot of people do lose a lot of money. Even people that I've gotten close to and spoken to them, they've lost hundreds of thousands of dollars because they actually gave the money to somebody that was pretending to be me.
I'm sure you are working or having a lot of haters in front of you, a lot of Bitcoin haters. What would you say to those who still doubt to the future of cryptocurrencies?
Well, for those who still doubt the future of cryptocurrencies, you can doubt gravity all you want. It's still here. If you want to jump off of a building, be my guest. You're going to fall. Gravity will have an effect on you. Same with the future of Bitcoin. If you just ignore it, right, you're going to regret it at your own financial peril.
Fully fair. Now we are at the section we asked some people from the community what question should we ask Davinci. He's here, he's kind of Bitcoin legend, I would say, and we got some questions and I will ask the questions now. First questions: if you could have a dinner party with 3 influential figures dead or alive from the world of cryptocurrencies, who would you invite and why?
Ooh, good one. Well, first it would be Michael Saylor.
Okay.
Right? We'd sit down, and then Andreas Antonopoulos. And let's see here. I would say, I don't know, who else would...
Satoshi himself?
No? Vitalik.
Vitalik, okay.
Satoshi, no, I'd rather him stay anonymous because that would... well, if he was alive, I don't think he's alive now, but he would be dead if he showed up, right? So I wouldn't want that to happen.
Who would kill him? What do you think? If Satoshi, tomorrow you open the newspaper and you see, damn, that's Satoshi. Who would kill the person?
People involved in the banking system.
Okay.
The people high ups in the banking system, basically, because the banking system is the ability to print money out of nothing, right, and loan it to people, and loan it to governments, and then collect interest. Are you going to be very happy with somebody that takes that away from you? No.
Yeah, sounds good. But yeah, it's quite the truth.
Yes.
If you were to describe the crypto community in one emoji, which one would you choose and why?
Oh, they know the crazy low emoji line.
What would you say about the rocket? The diamond, the rocket?
No.
No. Please make it again in the camera, the emoji. Perfect. Perfect. I really like the emoji. It's really nice and crazy, freaky. And the crypto.
That's crypto.
Crypto is freaky. That's the truth. Some Bitcoin maximalists are saying Ethereum will maybe die one day. What is your opinion about this?
Yeah, those are Bitcoin maxis, and no, Ethereum will stick around for quite some time, unless, of course, somebody comes up with a means to ensure that there's no holes to any kind of programming language that exists in a decentralized way. The problem with Ethereum is that it's not fully decentralized. Decentralized enough for corporations, but not in a government sense, meaning that the government can make a change in the past history of Ethereum. Not a corporation wouldn't be able to do it, but the government could with enough force. And so, and they have that force to do so. So that's the problem with Ethereum today and most other cryptocurrencies out there other than Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the only one that the government has no force against at all. Just like, and that's a good thing, because can you imagine if we gave the government the ability to control the gravitational constant of the whole universe? What do you think would happen? Oh, yeah, the universe would collapse.
Yeah. Would collapse. And then we have other problems. So, one more. So you don't think that Bitcoin can be banned in the future?
Yes, banning can happen. It's just the banning happens in many countries of U.S. dollars, right? For example, in Venezuela, it's illegal to buy a house in dollars, but everyone does. When you go, I was planning to buy a house in Venezuela, because it's really cheap. And although the contract's signed in bolivars, it's an honor system to pay in dollars.
Yeah. Makes sense, makes sense. So if the SEC or the US government tries to ban trading cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, you say
There'll just be an underground people use case, and you're like, oh, the value will drop. Yes, because drugs became cheaper.
drugs are still illegal, but yeah,
because they're illegal.
you can see in the real life what happens. There are some laws, but maybe not really interested. But yeah, how do you secure yourself privately for your age outside of cryptos? Have you bought already some houses in the world, or still cryptos?
Yes, I have purchased a house. That was a big mistake, only because I listened to what brokers had to say about buying a house. Right? If you make a lot of money, right, do not buy a house in your name. Once again, do not buy a house in your name. Learn the tricks of the trade in order to avoid the government coming or anyone coming to take it from you. There is a way around that. And ignore all the brokers who say, no, it's cheaper to put it on your name. No, it'll cost you way more. Way more. If you do it wrong.
So how would you buy a house?
Oh, you have a corporation that's a trust company that's not in your name that purchases the house.
Okay, so the easiest way.
Yes.
If you want to get bigger and bigger, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, so nobody knows you own any real estate.
Yeah, no, not till now.
Yes.
That's good. nearly only cryptocurrencies and some Bitcoin. Now, please show your nice ring in the camera.
Yes.
Because
so, do you know why I have this ring on my middle finger?
That's one of the questions. When did you bought the ring and why?
I didn't buy this ring. I was given this ring because I represent diamond hands, right? So the company gave it to me. And I sized it from my middle finger because I wanted the banks to read between the lines.
Give them the finger. Give them the finger. So, is it full gold or is it?
Yes, it is. It's real gold.
Nice, because it's really, I love it also.
You want to? There you go.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
pretty heavy.
it's really heavy. Amazing. I touched the ring. Thank you very much. And now one last question from my side. If there were some people, they are 18 now, what are your top 3 advices for them to look in the future from financial side, from environmental side? So what are your top advices to them?
Well, get into the cryptocurrency world one way or another, right? Start studying how it works, figuring out where you best fit into the crypto space, and then go 100% into it, because at the end of the day, you'll probably retire before you hit 30, as the way this thing is going. So because you'll become an expert, everybody will be coming to you, and you'll have all the advantages that a lot of people don't have. In fact, once we get to crypto as a full money system, a lot of things will become cheaper, and because you've purchased Bitcoin really cheap, you will see that you'll be able to buy a lot of stuff just so that people could have that crypto in their hands.
Mm-hmm. What do you think is the maximum price we will see for one Bitcoin in the future?
I'm not gonna. You know what? Pricing.
You don't have the glass ball. I know.
Can I ask you, right? Since we're here in Germany,
yeah.
What's the price of a Reichmark? Right. What's the value of a Reichmark?
I don't really know it, but
exactly.
yeah.
There is no value for a Reichmark. So what happens when the U.S. dollar goes away? What do you price a Bitcoin at? Right.
We need a new currency.
So
yeah.
exactly. So you wouldn't bother pricing it. You'd be pricing it on what you could buy with it. So effectively, with one Bitcoin, you could probably buy a whole massive mansion worth anywhere from $5 to $10 million once this becomes money.
Perfect answer for the end. Thank you, Davinci, for the interview.
You're welcome. Cheers.